We move into the month of June here at the Stafford Motor Speedway, and Bonssa Tufa, the temperatures feel like that as they have really spiked here in the last couple of days.
It's hot. It's really hot and humid. It's almost 90 degrees today, and it's supposed to be around 90 degrees tomorrow. So it's a test of the teams because not only does the grind of weekly racing really pick up, but when it's hot, your patience may run thinner. You got to make sure you contain yourself, you cool down a bit, because in these conditions, it doesn't take much for things to get crazy on the track or maybe in the pits. So it's a true test for the teams as we go through 2023. Can they prosper even in the hottest of weather where the patience might run a little too thin?
And a hot, slick racetrack comes along with those hot temperatures, and we've had some, to stay with the theme, hot racing over the first 3 weeks of this 2023 season, especially in the SK Modifieds with 3 different winners.
And this time, Steven Kopchak got the win in a caution-free 40-lap event. Took the lead before lap 10, I think. He took the lead pretty quickly after starting 4th. We saw Refrano up front. We saw Kopech out front. Seeing Refrano and Di Matteo and Blewett and Rocco go at it during that race made you hold your breath because they were very bold in their turn 3 bottom shots, but nobody could challenge Kopchak in the end, getting the first win of the year. He was really good. He pulled away to like a 1.5 second, 2 second lead during the race. He felt like he had a winning car from the first week, didn't have any luck second week, but he came back, and man, was he good.
You mentioned Marcello Refrano. It's been a nice bounce back for that driver after a very tough Spring Sizzler weekend.
It's like last year. It's really a carbon copy of last year. He DNF'd the first race. Second race, came back to finish in the top 10, and that's despite getting a black flag. This time around, led some laps, had to settle for second. I know he wants to win. That's all he's about, is getting those wins. But consistency is key, and maybe now he can keep racking up those top 5s, and eventually those top 5s lead to podiums. Eventually those podiums can lead to victory lane.
And the final driver I want to touch on in the SK Modifieds, Corey Di Matteo, consistently quiet, but now second in points, gaining 3 spots a week ago.
3 top 10s on the season in 3 races, including a podium the opening week, and then he finished 4th last week. Just missed the podium, but yes, quietly consistent. The Hummel Hot Dogs 11 team has been pretty solid this year. We saw glimpses of that last year when he won 2 races. He had top 5, 5 times last season? This year, he's already just about half that in just 3 races.
Jimmy Blewett continues to lead the championship standings, far from quiet at the front of the field with all podium finishes over the first 3 weeks. In the late models, the Fern streak was snapped. Adam Gray, the defending and 4-time champion, back in victory lane.
And what a battle. What a battle. It was Gray versus Andrew Durand in the last few laps. They were beating and banging coming off a turn 4. Durand was hanging the car sideways. Andrew Durand's got some car control, by the way. I don't know if you've noticed, but he's made some really darn good saves this year. He gave it his best, but had to settle eventually for a 4th-place finish. It was Adam Gray that came home with the win, his first of the year. I said the previous week before the green flag that he didn't look that great the previous Friday, finishing 6th, but he didn't look that great in the beginning of last year, and how did that turn out?
As the 2022 champion. The other champion, multi-time champion in the field, is Tom Fern. He loves these hot, slick conditions. These are the conditions that he says he shines most in.
Which means you better watch out, because he ended off 22, the hottest driver with 4 wins in the last 6 races. He started the year off in victory lane. He gets a second last week. He loves the mid-summer stretch. He's so good with car control as well. I mean, you'll see him. He can drive the car places that not many others are willing to drive, or make it work if they do try. Tom Fern was fast last week. Last year, it took him half the season to really get going. It hasn't taken him long this time around.
Within a month of the season, he's back in Napa victory lane. The SK Light Modifieds, another former champion, back with us full-time this year, and first repeat winner in that division.
Brian Sullivan had to hold off the other winner this year in George Bassett Jr. in the last lap. Bassett gave him a little tap in 3 and 4 in the final corner, but that's all Bassett had. He was fast, though. He was reeling in Sullivan quick. If there were a couple more laps, who knows how it would end. But Sullivan got the big prize, over $2,000 in winnings, taking home the first double-down 40-lap feature of the year. Bassett, podiums in all 3 races thus far. He's really fast. Much better than his start last year, because if you remember, he started the year probably like 20-something in points because he crashed the first week, crashed the second week, mechanical problems after that. much better this time around. That 39 is fast, but there's a couple other cars that are fast, like Nick Anglais.
Like Nick Anglais, who has run in the top 5 much of the season. Meg Fuller came flying through the field last week without the aid of a caution in the second half of that race. 15th to 5th?
18th to 6th.
18th to 6th.
Yeah, it's not easy going through the pack. I mean, we had 36 cars, but the top 20 are just within a couple tenths of each other, so it's so hard to get through the field. Megan did that, and she really did that in a matter of like 15 laps. She took it easy in the first half of the race, stayed around 17th, 18th after the big pileup, but when she turned it on, wow, she was fast, and she feels good about that car heading into this Friday.
And defending champion Tyler Berry, he's had a tough time there in the eye of the storm in these big SK Light fields. Kind of quiet, still just outside of the top 5 in points.
Yeah, and he was battling between 2nd through 6th. They had that pack of cars for several laps. Tyler got really loose in 3 and 4, lost multiple spots, and then contact between him and Chris Matthews in turn 1 sent the 18 almost around. He saved it, but at the same time, that save was kind of his demise in the results because it never brought the caution out, so he never had a chance to recover from that near spin. He has one top 5 this year. The season opener, he said the car was too loose. The car visually looked really loose last week. We'll see if they can get it fixed in time setup-wise and try to get to victory lane because the last 2 seasons, it's taken him a long time each year to get a victory.
In the limited late models, it was the 59 of Matt Clement back to victory lane, also the first repeat winner of that division this season.
He's hot.
He is.
And it's not just the team hot, but last Friday in victory lane, there was a fire in the car. I think maybe some rubber got inside and got hot. That's what he said, but it was a freak deal. But yeah, Matt Clement is on a roll right now. A first, a fourth, and a first to start the year off. He had to get past Kevin Cormier in the final few laps to do it. Good, close, fender banging action there in the last few laps. Cormier thought he had a chance to win. It felt like he gave it away towards the end, but in his second year, Cormier has been really good.
He ended last season with a lot of momentum.
Yep.
I think most of the finishes were in the top 5, if not on the podium, and it's nice to see that momentum continue over to this season.
He's a championship contender. There's no debating that. Speaking of championship contenders, Jeremy Lavoie got involved in a spin in turn 3 after contact with Adrian Paradise III. He recovered to finish 5th, but you still got 16, 17 races to go. Rich Hammond has still been consistent. He hasn't been up there battling for the win, but 3rd, 4th place car every week. There's no margin for error in this division. If you have one bad night, it can set you back real quick.
And you mentioned Adrian Paradise III up into the top 5 in points in his rookie season after moving up from the street stocks.
He's learning quickly, and he's got one top 5 already. He actually came through the pack, too, because he was penalized for that contact with Lavoie. He came through the field quickly. I think the more weeks he learns about this car, the more he dials in the setup. We'll be seeing him fighting for the win, too.
And speaking of the street stocks, Travis Haidar had an eventful night from start to finish a week ago. He picked up the race win, but it was that road to victory lane that was bumpy.
Well, it all started on lap 1. A big pileup on the back straightaway that took out Ryan Waterman, who had won the first 2 races of the year. Also took out Travis Downey, and my gosh, Downey's luck so far has just been horrendous. 2 DNFs, both times not making it past lap 2. But Travis Haidar was involved in the wreck, had substantial front-end damage, but he thought the car was good to go nonetheless, and boy, was it good to go. He went from the back all the way to the front, past Johnny Walker with a few laps to go on the outside, made it look easy, and returns to victory lane after finishing 2nd both times in the first 2 races of the year. So Haidar, the defending champion, we know already he's going to be fighting to go back-to-back, and after Waterman's bad night, Haidar got what he was looking for. Can he stay in touch with that 31? Can the rest of the field stay in touch with the 11 and 31?
Including Burt Willett, who has also been consistent at the front of the field. Hasn't really made a whole lot of noise, but he's been on the podium several times already this season.
I asked him how he got through that wreck last week. He had no idea how he got through, but he'll take the finish. It was a good run for him. He finished 4th because I believe Jason Lafayette got a podium. Good season so far for Jason Lafayette. He's had top 5 speed all season. Going back to Willett, he thinks he needs just a little bit more to try and compete for those wins, but we know he can do it. It took him a while to get to victory lane last year and the year before, but he's got the speed, just a little luck and a little better setup. He'll be in victory lane in no time.
All 5 of those divisions will be in action on Friday night here at the Stafford Motor Speedway for week number 4, part of Kids Night. What do you think about racing a big wheel?
Me racing the big wheel?
Yeah.
If you race me, then we'll do a match race in front of the fans. How about that?
I see a Kyle and Bonssa match race if we can fit on Friday night.
Tell us who would win, though, and be honest with your answer.
Kyle, because I can fit a bit. Well, maybe.
Are you sure?
You're taller.
But I'm slender.
Okay. Well, we may find out on Friday night. Heart of Kids Night here at the Stafford Motor Speedway, our first Kids Night of the season. Hope you can make it out. All the action starts at 6 o'clock here at the Stafford Half Mile. And if you can't be here, you can make sure to tune in on flowracing.com.